The meeting in order. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Hennessy. Trustee LaRocca.
Here.
Trustee Geezer.
Here.
Trustee Frizzloni.
Here.
Trustee Schwarzy.
Here.
Trustee McCarthy.
Here.
Mayor Severino.
Here. Before we start, I'd like a moment of silence for a good friend of ours that has supported Carol Stream DARE program for several years, many years. Joe Salerno from Salerno, Rosedale, passed away. Saturday night, I was called yesterday morning by his caregiver and let me know that he passed away. And he's in Florida, but they'll be bringing him back and laying him out on Friday and burying him on Saturdays. Joe is a personal friend of mine and a personal friend of Mary's. Mary's known the family for many, many years from another life. So I'd just like a moment of silence, if we could, for Joe Salerno. Thank you. Now we could do our pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Their motion to approve the minutes of our February 19th, 2019 special workshop meeting
So moved. Second.
by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Swarzy. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Frizzloni.
Aye.
Trustee Schwarzy.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Their motion to approve the minutes of our February 19th, 2019 village board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Geezer, seconded by trustee Frizzloni. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Frizzloni.
Aye.
Trustee Schwarzy.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Under listening posts, we have resolution number 3073 honoring Helene Morrison upon her retirement from the Village of Carol Stream Finance Department. A resolution honoring Helene Morrison upon her retirement from the Village of Carol Stream Finance Department. Whereas Helene Morrison joined the Village of Carol Stream Financial Management Department as an account clerk on December 5th, 1994. And whereas her duties, Helene is frequently the first point of contact for residents and visitors seeking information regarding services provided by the village or the community at large, whether in person or by telephone. And whereas Helene's warm and welcoming smile and calm and compassionate voice are hallmarks of the outstanding service she delivers to residents and visitors of the village on a daily basis. And whereas Helene's dedication to her position and knowledge of the community have made her an outstanding resource to her customers and coworkers. And whereas Helene Morrison, after more than 24 years of dedicated service to the residents of Carol Stream, has decided to retire from public service on March 10th, 2019, with the Carol Stream Finance Department. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and the board of trustees of the Village of Carol Stream, on behalf of all the former and present elected, appointed officials and residents of Carol Stream, that under Section 1, Helene Morrison, service and dedication to the Village of Carol Stream in the field of municipal finance are hereby recognized and commended. Section 2, Helene Morrison is wished the very best of happiness and health in her retirement. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and as approved by law. Passed and approved this 4th day of March 2019.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 3073 honoring Helene Morrison.
Who seconded that? So the motion was made by trustee McCarthy and seconded by trustee LaRocca. Okay. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Geezer.
Aye.
Trustee Frizzloni.
Aye.
Trustee Schwarzy.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
This is a hard one for everybody. and those of us that know Helene and know, at front desk is the first place everybody comes. If they're angry, if they're happy, but most of the time they're paying a bill, they're parting with money, buying a vehicle sticker. I remember my first days and I saw the lines out the door and they were in there. People come in angry and leave happy and after they bought their vehicle stickers. So I mean, I can't say enough about you. I would like you to take the podium and then we're going to ask you, we're going to give you what I read, but we have it on a plaque for you. And we would like you to come up and say a few words. And then we would like you to come up here and take a picture with us. Let me
You
tell you.
have to.
No one-
We're- No, they
On the
won't.
television.
I guarantee you they won't, because my wife told me if you're making a speech, that she wants you at the mic so she could hear it, because on YouTube, when you got your award, never heard a word. So you need to get close to the mic, please.
Now I need some music.
Like it's like karaoke night, then I know you can get right in.
No, we can get those tunes going, we'll be okay. I've been winging it for a couple of days already with these, so today I had to write something down because I knew this was going to be a special evening, so, and I couldn't ply you all with tacos and karaoke, so tonight I just want to share that I love this job. I have loved this job every day that I've had it. Everyone in this room has had a part in that. Those of you on the dais, my family, my son and his wife are here, my coworkers, my friends, and any of the residents in the audience, and certainly all the residents in Carroll Stream, every one of you. My goal has always been to perform my job with integrity, knowledge, grace, compassion, and a healthy dose of humor. I leave knowing that if I didn't always quite succeed, I usually came pretty close, and for that I'm very grateful. My daughter-in-law, Jen, found a perfect quote from Winnie the Pooh, and I want to share that with you. How lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. Thank you all.
Push the chairs back and get in here. If I knew she could sing that good,
You would have made me sing?
that's, you bet. It ain't too late.
All right, 1, 2, 3. And one more. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you all.
Congratulations.
Said now we can hug you because now you're not an employee anymore.
I still hug her anyway.
She's a hugger.
Would you like?
Myrtle Beach, baby!
Come on, really? Would you like the box?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Don't be a stranger.
No, you know better than that.
I was gonna say, can I put you?
So, Trustee Geezer, would you like to introduce our special agent?
I would be honored to. This is a new one for me, and I think this will be an interesting thing for the community. I'd like to introduce Special Agent Zakursky and his canine partner, Coda, are joining us. And joining
like
us
just getting
also
excited.
is Deputy Chief Youngers, and tell us a little bit about Coda and what Coda's duties will be with the village and the region.
All right, so Coda?
Dakota is a 9 months old German Shepherd. She's trained in narcotics, be cocaine, heroin, meth, and cannabis. She'll be able to help us out with search warrants, building searches, vehicle searches, parcel luggage. Currently, I'm assigned to the ISP Narson Task Force. So a lot of that is commercial motor vehicle interdiction, hotels, motels.
Is she sniffing the mayor out?
No, you know what?
It's a possibility.
He's been in Florida, so.
As you guys know, we wanted to introduce her to you tonight. You had a resolution that we worked on very hard. Andrew's been on the Narcotics and Interdiction Task Force, Cash Interdiction Task Force, and their job is, because I get a lot of questions from you guys about this, why we have an officer working in Chicago. All of our heroin cases, our big cases, all end up there. So he's on this task force there, and their job is to get the big shipments of drugs before they end up here on the streets of Carroll Stream. So the dog and him will be working there, and Andrew was chosen specifically because he's very successful at his job. He does a really good job, and our department has a very good reputation, so they chose him to be the canine handler for the task force. So he'll be there for at least another 5 years, God willing, if nothing bad happens. But, and the dog will be there with him, and we'll be able to bring the dog here for community events, or if we have a search warrant or things, we can also use it here as much as we see fit. So our home agency takes priority in most cases. So one of his recent cases he worked, they interdicted 70 kilos of cocaine coming in. So he's got a lot of big cases that he's done already, and the dog's only gonna help a huge benefit for that. So we appreciate you guys giving us this opportunity, and we'll be able to use it here for our roadside safety checks and everything else. So it should be a great resource for us here too.
Well, we appreciate you bringing it forward so we could approve it to be able to work with the dog.
Yeah, thank you for that, by the way.
That works out perfect. That's a beautiful dog, I got to tell you.
How long will it take for her to be trained?
She actually just got certified on last Thursday down in Macon County.
At 8 months old, really?
Yeah, yep. 9, I'm going on 10, but yeah. Yep.
She was actually certified a few weeks prior, and then they changed the rules in Illinois, so that he had to go down state and get her recertified by a different governing body. So she's been certified twice. She does an excellent job. They've given me great reviews on her, so we're very excited about it.
Well, after watching the video, I watched the video somebody sent me. One German Shepherd walked up to a truck coming in from Mexico, did a little paw job, and ended up with 2 truckloads of narcotics. That was unbelievable amount of narcotics. So,
That's what we're hoping, so.
yeah, hopefully, yeah, good. Any drugs we can get off the street, that's another life we might be able to save. So, thank you. Anybody have questions? We weren't, I asked Trustee Geezer if he'd have the dog say a few words.
I was hoping we may have had a truly special.
To further on the dog, she is, you can train a dog 3 ways, a sniffer, a tracker, and a biter. You know, they track them down, then bite the bad guy. She's just a sniffer, so she's a friendly dog, so we can do friendly things where people can pet her, as you can see. And most people are shocked that they're able to pet a police dog, but she's simply a narcotics dog. We may train her later on down the road as a tracker dog as well.
Well, that was the first thing I asked the special agent was, can I pet her? Because as we know, many service animals, they're working, so.
Yeah, she's very friendly.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Will the dog be able to be trained if new drugs come on the scene or,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different, both with narcotics and with, there's other things, currency or with people searching, like, either elderly or kids with autism that all walk away. She can be trained on the road with all that.
what about work with the fire department? Should there ever be a,
Oh, no.
no?
Yeah, that's
Got the
where we
wrong,
draw
no
that.
spots on the dog. You got to put spots.
So she's not an arson sniffing dog, right? No arson?
No.
Just drugs.
You can tell in this crowd, she's very comfortable, so that means no one does drugs in this room. How would you like to be singled out right now, huh? Oh, my God. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you
Anybody
very
have any
much.
questions or anything?
Nope.
No.
Welcome aboard with the dog.
Thank you.
Love them.
Let's get out of here.
Friendly dog. You think he's friendly. He's sniffing you out is what he's doing. Covered. The next thing on our agenda is a proclamation designating March Severe Weather Preparedness Month, and I had asked Trustee Suarez, our firefighter, and trustee, if you would please read that.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Trustee LaRocca, for the glasses here. Proclamation designating March as Severe Weather Preparedness Month. Whereas the transition from winter to spring brings the likelihood for severe weather and potential tornado activity. And whereas the months of April, May, and June have the highest recorded number of tornado touchdowns in our state, averaging 25 in this period. And whereas during this severe weather season, it is critical that residents and business owners use various sources for early warning, including outdoor early warning sirens, the DuPage County Emergency Alert System for TV and radio, the village's Code Red subscription notification service, and a NOAA-certified weather radio. And whereas residents with smartphones are encouraged to download free preparedness apps available from the American Red Cross, FEMA, the National Weather Service, and from local major broadcast news outlets as a backup communication source. And whereas conducting an annual audit of your family or business that includes reviewing your shelter and evacuation plan, buying or restocking your 72-hour Go Kit, updating your emergency contact phone list are essential preparedness measures that should be undertaken. And whereas it is critical that property owners designate a safe room in their home or business, like a basement, a centrally located windowless room, a utility or mechanical room where family members and employees can gather when severe weather sirens are activated. Now therefore be it proclaimed that Mayor Frank Savarino Sr. and the Village Board of Trustees, Carroll Stream, DuPage County, Illinois, in the exercise of its home rule powers, do hereby proclaim March Severe Weather Preparedness Month in Carroll Stream, and encourage all home and business owners to conduct an annual audit of their severe weather preparedness plan to prepare family members and employees during the 2019 severe weather season. Proclaim this fourth day of March 2019.
Thank you, trustee Suarez. There a motion to establish a consent agenda? We don't have any we don't have any, no, nothing from the audience? Okay, is there a motion to establish a consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Frizzaloni. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee LaRocca?
Aye.
Trustee Giesers?
Aye.
Trustee Frizzaloni?
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz?
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, would you please read what's on the consent agenda?
Certainly. Under staff reports and recommendations, number one, recommendation to award a contract for truck rehabilitation services to Monroe Truck Equipment under Sourcewell contract number 080114-MTE in the amount of $156,734 pursuant to the provisions of section 583B and subsection 5814L of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Yes.
Under ordinances, ordinance amending Chapter 11, Article 2 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances by increasing the number of Class A liquor licenses from 12 to 13. RVD Taj Inc., doing business as Taj Mahal Indian Restaurant, 802 West Army Trail Road.
Yes.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2019-3-8. Under resolutions, we have a resolution authorizing the execution of an Illinois Department of Transportation Construction Engineering Services Agreement for federal participation with regard to construction services for Lees Road, LAFO, Perry Avenue to Schmale Schmale Road, in the amount of $37,992.21 pursuant to the provisions of section 583B and section 5814A of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
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 That is resolution number 3074. Under new business, number one, raffle license application, Carroll Stream Rotary Club is requesting a raffle license and waiver of the fee and manager's fidelity bond for their annual chili open to be held on May 10, 2019.
Yes.
Yes.
Under payment of bills, regular bills, February 20, 2019 through March 4, 2019.
Yes.
Yes.
Under warrants, February 20, 2019 through March 4, 2019.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there a motion to put those items on the consent agenda?
Second.
Moved by trustee LaRocca, seconded by trustee Giesers. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee LaRocca?
Aye.
Trustee Giesers?
Aye.
Trustee Frizzaloni?
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz?
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy?
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve those items by omnibus vote?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Frizzalone, seconded by trustee McCarthy. Clerk call the roll.
Trustee Loretta?
Aye.
Trustee Giesers?
Aye.
Trustee Frizzalone?
Aye.
Trustee Schwarzy?
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy?
Aye.
Port officers. Let's start down there with Mr. LaRocca.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This evening, I would just like to, again, congratulate Helene Morrison on her retirement and wish her best wishes. And hope that she frequents us by visiting. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee LaRocca. Trustee Gieser.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations to Helene. There was a wonderful lunch for her on Friday, and then apparently the mayor was karaokeing with her.
If I was, she wouldn't have came back.
So congratulations on your retirement, well deserved. Couple events I want to share and let you know about. This Saturday, we will be having a July 4th Parade fundraiser at Red Apple Pancake House on Schmale Road. It's all day long on Saturday. No flyer needed, just show up, and the parade committee will receive 10% of your bill to help us put on the event on July 4th. Also, it's going to be a big fundraising weekend, because then on the 10th, on Sunday, the Veterans Memorial Committee we're building the Carroll Stream Veterans Memorial in the town center. We'll be having a pasta dinner fundraiser at the American Legion from 1 until 5 on Sunday. You can get your tickets at Fountain View Recreation Center, the Simca Center, or you may get them at the door. It goes from 1 until 5, and we're very, very close to receiving all the money, or to earning all the money to complete that project. And a big step was this weekend, we received a check from a local business, Tracy's, and they came and they donated $5,000 for the completion of that project. So thank you to Tracy's for doing that. It was wonderful to see them at our meeting to share that check. And we're very close to earning all the money for that. And then I mentioned the parade committee. We will be having some future fundraisers coming up, including one at Culver's on April 30th. And that's my report.
Thank you, trustee Gieser. Thank you for being in that committee. It's a very important project, and I know you've worked very hard with the Park District to get that done, and Jim Benson and his crew. Thank you. Trustee Suarze.
Thank you, sir. Helene, thank you again for your service. First time I met her, it was because she had a fire at her house, or some sort of small emergency. It wasn't anything major, and back in maybe 2001, before I became a village board member, but first time I met her, told me she worked for the village. So, with regards to the proclamation I read about severe weather preparedness, gosh, wouldn't we just love for tornado weather to be here? It's so cold out. I don't think tornadoes exist in this -4-degree temperature. But with that being said, Village Manager Meller, could you explain to whoever's watching on TV the Code Red subscription notification service?
That is a service that is available to residents to be notified by the village in the event of an emergency situation or severe weather. So they can sign up. Tia, can you elaborate where they can sign up on that?
Residents can sign up online on our village webpage under our communications tab, and it's a very quick, easy form to fill out online.
Very good. And when there is a severe weather incident, I believe they can get a text, an email, and a phone call? Does that sound right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, very good, very good. And then my only other thing I have to say is please remember to shop in Carroll Stream. Thank you very much.
Thank you, trustee Suarze. Trustee Frizzalone.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You'll have to apologize, or excuse me, I did not know that Joe Salerno had died, so I'm very upset right now. Part of my board report was going to mention how we had attended a DARE graduation last week. Joe Salerno was just a phenomenal man. Every year, he donated money towards our DARE program, And every single year, he would attend at least one of the DARE graduations, and I had the honor of sitting next to him countless times, holding his hand, and he would just say, I'm doing this because I never want to have to bury another child to a heroin overdose. And I mean, he was a phenomenal man. My family has known him for years. My husband's family knew him since my husband was a child. He was just the man that just went out of his way to help anyone and everyone. When my husband's father passed away, he stepped up to take my husband to Boy Scout camp to make sure he still could participate in Boy Scouts. My brother-in-law, to make sure that he played in Little League, he coached. So he was just a man who always gave and gave and gave. But one of my best and favorite memories of Joe Salerno was last fall at the Chaco dinner. I get to introduce him to my son Daniel, and they had the best conversation. And as Joe was walking out, we were in the atrium, and there was a song playing, and Joe and I stood in the atrium, and we danced. He was just the sweetest, most gentle man, and he definitely made a huge impact on Carroll Stream and the surrounding area, and he will be very greatly missed. That is the end of my report.
Well, I can tell you that I know for a fact that he feels the same about you and your family as you do about him, believe me. Thank you. I'm sorry that I would be the one to tell you. I thought everybody knew. I apologize. Trustee McCarthy?
I also had the pleasure of knowing Joe for a number of years. Knowing him both in helping with DARE or some township projects, but also knowing him in a situation, in a tough situation when my wife Linda and my mother-in-law and I had to go there to set up Linda's brother's funeral. And how that man can put somebody at ease in even the worst situations was nothing short of amazing. And the world's going to miss him. I'll leave that part at that. Helene, congratulations on your retirement. Hate seeing you leave. We always hate reading these resolutions where we're saying goodbye to staff who've been here 20, 25, 30 years. It's tough. I mean, once you lose that history, it's gone. And then it's up to you guys to have to start somebody new and start all over. And so, hey, the rest of you, stick around for a while, will you? And then just as an update on our Chrissy's Flood Brothers Bags Tournament for Relay for Life, we're on day 6, Wednesday night. We're well on our way to having a solid shot at donating over $20,000 this year. We had a play-in tournament with the police, we had a play-in tournament with the staff, and then we've got 7 other nights, and then this year we also brought on the kids tournament, which is this Sunday. And the kids tournament, all proceeds are going to benefit the local Ronald McDonald House. And the Ronald McDonald House is actually very excited about it because they haven't done a lot of local fundraisers. And they love the idea of being a little bit more involved on a local scale, so that's kind of exciting. We still are selling raffle tickets all the way up till Wednesday the 13th at about 8 o'clock at night. They're $5 a piece or 5 for $20, and that's what helps us get to our goal. So you can contact me. You can stop at Chrissy's. Any of course, the committee members. Mary is, Laura is, Paul is, and my family and everybody at Chrissy's, along with Sarah Marcucci, Nick Porter, Mark and Jean Mondrala. I think that's everybody. So if you want raffle tickets, let one of us know. We'll get it. If you're in Carroll Stream, we'll get them to you. We'll deliver anything over. If you buy more than $20 or more in tickets, I'll get them delivered to you. With that, that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Trustee McCarthy. Mr. Rhodes, our village attorney.
Mr. Mayor, just congratulations to Helene and condolences to Joe's family. That's all.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, our village manager.
Congratulations and best wishes to Helene. Served the village for 2.5 decades. between Helene and Linda Tisdale, who retired recently, they were the first point of contact for most of the residents that either came to the municipal center or telephoned us for the past 4 decades. So like the board said, you know, we lost 2 long-term good employees, so we're going to miss them. Tonight, we concluded our budget workshops for the coming fiscal year. Just to let people know what the next steps in the process will be. We'll be distributing the draft budget for public review and comment on the village's website. There'll be a copy in the village clerk's office and at the Carroll Stream Library on April 5th. We'll have a public hearing on the proposed budget, and we'll be presenting a balanced budget to the board for adoption at the April 15th board meeting. And then the final thing I have, this weekend begins daylight saving time, so don't forget to spring forward. And then I seem to recall that you're also supposed to do another thing, Trustee Schwarzy.
Not me, I forgot to mention that.
Of course, a lot of them are 10 years now, but
Yes.
you have an older one.
Change your batteries in your smoke detectors, please.
That's all I have.
What's 10 years?
Some of the newer smoke detectors have 10-year batteries. Yeah, lithium-ion batteries.
You believe that?
I do,
Okay, well, at 3 o'clock in the morning when your smoke detector.
when it doesn't work.
Don't call me. Helene, you will be missed. There's no question about it. I mean, you could see the turnout of the people, and the Friday night was, actually came back from out of town special to be there. I couldn't make the luncheon, but I was there for the party. Phenomenal turnout. I never seen so many retirees that came back, and some of the village, actually people that live in the village, ended up there because they love her. And I meant what I said earlier. I saw people come in at their very worst, where I couldn't wait to get away from them, and they would just calm them down. And it's not everybody that has that personality, so they will be missed. She will definitely be missed, so. But we lose 2 of them in a short period of time, and that puts a lot of pressure on our staff, and I know you'll step up as you always do. I can't say anything about Joe Salerno other than, if I had a brother, Joe Salerno would be my brother. That's how much I love the man. When my son died, it was probably the worst thing that ever happened in my entire life. We've been doing fundraising with Joe Salerno for probably 25 years, easy. He watched my son grow up. Dominic helped him become president of the charitable group that we run with, that we give a lot of money away every year to people that need it, families and scholarships. And he helped my son get where he was and then ended up burying him. He helped me become a better mayor, without a doubt. He's an elected official in Bloomingdale, and Joe's leadership really is what enhanced my being the mayor. I think that I'm a good mayor, and I think I'm a good mayor because of people like Joe, not because of me. There's people that I watch and I try and feed off them, and he was one of the people. Always tell the truth, do it if you could, and don't tell him if you can't do it, don't tell him you're gonna do it for him. I mean, I sat with Joe for a long time, with Joe because I trusted Joe that he would give me the right advice to make me a better elected official. And anybody that's taken advice from Joe, you can see the reaction from Trustee Fruzzoloni, that's known him probably longer than all of us have. That's the reaction everybody has. This is gonna be a terrible week for everybody. I'm actually staying back just so I can go to the wake. I was gonna leave town on Wednesday. I'm not leaving town. I know where I belong. I belong here to be with him on Wednesday, or on Friday. So I can't say enough about Joe Salerno. He helped us fund our DARE program on a regular basis. I remember the first call that he gave me, and he said, "Frank, do you still have the DARE program?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "I want to give you a check for $2,500. And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because I'm in," Trustee Fruzzoloni already said it, but this has happened in our meeting room. He said, "Because I'm tired of burying young people dying of overdoses." I don't know if we were all living in denial or we didn't want to know, but I mean, this is going back 4 or 5 years ago that he came in. And I said to him, "I'll take the check, but I want you to take the podium and explain why you're giving us the money. And that night, the newspapers were there, and the next day, they went and talked to the coroner, and from that point on is when all of the committee started to try and go after the opioid problems. Our chief stepped up. We had other chiefs, 2 other mayors and myself. We had formed a group with high schools and middle school kids, and thanks to the police department and Amita Hospital, and Joe Salerno was the guy that started the whole thing. It was like a snowball coming down the hill. Just those words that he said that night in our meeting got everybody worked up, where they went and talked to Jorgensen, the coroner, and he verified that there was 17 or more, maybe 18 bodies there waiting to be checked for toxicology screening, and that they were probably heroin overdoses. And then from that point on, you can see where it's gone. There's still some towns and still in other states where they still don't believe they have a problem, and they're dropping like flies. This is an epidemic that is way past wherever anybody ever thought it would go. I don't want to get into marijuana because I think our chief knows how I feel about marijuana. I know he feels the same way. It's a gateway drug. The next thing you know, I'm sure there's a use for everything. But I can't see, if anybody was to get the reports that I've seen that come out of Denver, Colorado, and you could tell me that that's what you'd want in this state, I would find that to be amazing, because it is terrible what's happening there. And I'll tell you this story. I have a nephew that's a drug addict, and he's been a drug addict for his whole life. He's 52 years old. I've had him living with us 3 times. He can't live by my rules, and he just tells me that, Uncle Frank, I can't stay here anymore. He went to Colorado because he can do all the drugs he wanted. He's moving out of Colorado. That's how bad it is. He said, Uncle Frank, I can't take it here anymore. Everybody's high. He's used to going in, and him and his friends would be high. Now everybody's high. He said, I can't live under those conditions. That's a true story. He's offered to come and talk to our students, but I think if they saw him, they wouldn't. I'd have to have the chief put him in handcuffs. He's a rough character, but he's got a heart of gold, and he doesn't bother anybody. He's just killing himself is what he's doing. So I'm very compassionate when it comes to drugs. I hate drugs. I know we prescribe them. We can't even handle the opioids that were given to us. You go to the dentist and you have a root canal, and he gives you 30 days for pills for 30 days. Like, after 3 days, if that pain's still there, I'm coming back. I mean, I'm not going to take pills for 30 days. That just isn't right. And that's how we prescribe things, and that's why we are where we are today. And that's why we got people dying every day. And it's got to stop. So I just hope that somebody in Springfield figures this out and looks at other reports from other states like California. I watch the news, I see it, I go on YouTube, I see it. They got 10 cities going. I mean, they got hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people living in the streets. I don't want that here. We don't want that we don't want that in the western suburbs. I don't want it in Illinois. But that's for another time. So with that, if you pray for Joe Salerno tonight for me, please. If you don't pray, that's fine, but if you do pray, say a prayer for Joe. He'll be up in heaven with my son. So we are going into collective negotiating matters and deliberations concerning salary schedules for 1 or more classes of employees. There will be no action taken, so we will adjourn from here.
That's correct.
Did I say that right? I'm on a roll tonight. I thank you. So I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? We have
Aye.
to- Oh, we got to do the roll. Roll call.
I'm sorry. Trustee LaRocca?
Aye.
Trustee Giesers?
Aye.
Trustee, Sifilini?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned. So then I could bring the tickets on Wednesday night?
Yep. Put him in the little